Good night, good morning, good day all. I'm Leon Joseph, the principal photographer and creative director at King Photography Studios. Welcome back to Sundae Sessions, second episode to be exact. But before we start, to the handful of people who liked the last video and subscribed, it was greatly appreciated. Okay, so here I just skip and choose some of the photos from my archives to see which one I want to edit for this particular session. And I've settled on this photo of Terence here. So I just played around with the contrast, the brightness, the clarity, the haze, and the color temperature a bit. Then I exported it to Photoshop to do the heavy editing. As it opened up in Photoshop, I changed the ratio to 16:9, so it'll be best for Facebook and Instagram. Then I went into the neutral filters to use the skin smoothing, placed it on a smart filter, came back out, and I used the selection tool to select the subject, copy and paste that to a new layer above the background, and use the mixer brush to play around with the background and get like a sort of cool gradient on it. Okay, so here with the top layer selected, I open my frequency separation action to go in and do some work, some skin work, and just remove a few blemishes on the model's face. So remove like a small pimple, maybe a little blemish in the makeup, but Terence has really clean, beautiful skin, so don't have much work to do. This spot here was really annoying. I had to go over it a few times to try and get it to the point where I would have liked it at. See here, I just fixing a scar on her hand. Use the textile layer to go over it a few times, and eventually use the mixer brush over it on the color layer, so that blend back in the color to the color of her hand. That looks about right to me. Then I went foot up on her hands, close to her fingers. Find this didn't really look too appealing, it didn't look right, so I went over it a few times with the clone tool. After working on it, deselected the changes and selected the back to see the difference, to see how it looked. Okay, so the next step, I want to use my eyes and teeth whitening action to go in and whiten the eyes a little bit. So I just double check in my brush. Let's start going on the eyes. Change the size of my brush to as small as possible to fit what it is I'm doing, and just painting white over the white of our eyes. So zoom back out, take a look at it, see if it looks natural. Wasn't really looking too perfectly natural, so I adjusted the opacity a bit to try and have it natural looking. Then use the blend depth option to try and blend it in. Right, so that looks pretty good to me. To the next step, I want to try and highlight the catch lights in her eyes, so I created a new layer and painted in white over her eyes where the catch lights were, to try and highlight them. So here I'm about to blend, to merge the layers, because I don't like to have too many layers open they could crop one another. So next step is my dodge and burn action in Photoshop. So let's use a brush and draw lines where necessary or where needed, which would be over the nose bridge, just over the eyes, sort of matching where the light naturally hit our face from when I was shooting. Just along the cheeks, stuff like that, and the chin. So the next step is to feather that layer a bit, play around with it to see what looks natural or what looks good. Again, use the blend F tool to make sure everything blends nicely. Right, so here I'm using the burn tool to try and sculpt the face, so on the nose as well as the cheeks a bit, try and sculpt the cheekbones as well as on the brow. Again, feather it a bit, play around with it to see what looks good. If necessary, go back in and paint in a bit more. So here I was contemplating using an exposure layer to try and raise the contrast on her hair to give it like a more of a pop, but that wasn't really working out, so scrap that plan. So again, merge the layers, don't have too much layers open, but they'll crop one another. Okay, so what I'm doing here is select the subject because I want to use one of my own skin tone lots, but skin tone lots sometimes affect the whole image, so I want to try and refine my selection so just the skin alone where it doesn't affect the model's clothing. So this takes a little while because you need to be kind of precise with this. Sometimes this could be really annoying, but it's worth it. Alright, so your selection is selected properly. Alright, so this is what we're looking for. It affects the skin alone and leaves the clothing separate. So the next step is to use a hue saturation layer to adjust the color of the clothing to what it is I wanted. Color that I feel I like. Okay, so what I was initially trying to do here is underneath the layer which was selected for the subject, use the gradient tool to put in a background. That wasn't working, so I just merge all the layers. Reselect the subject, copy and paste that, put that a fresh layer above, then the middle layer as well, put in the gradient. So I play around with this a bit to try and find a color that I like. Eventually I found this iridescent category which coincidentally matches the look of the outfit and stuff, so that was really cool. So next step, I went into camera raw to try and up the saturation so that it would look a bit more vibrant. That looks good to me, so I exported it, actually saved it and exported it back to Capture One. And Capture One just exported it to take a look at it.